The scientists have discovered the God particle. That's what they are saying. Higgs boson. And they say that the entire universe is made up of this. It's a field. The field is energy, and it gives shape to the planets, the stars, and everything. This sounds so familiar for someone who has studied Vedanta or who has experienced deep meditation. The whole universe is made up of consciousness, play and display of one consciousness. Now the Vedic rishis also said the same. They said what? First know the elements. They called even Brahman the ultimate as a tattva. Tattva means principle. Brahman principle, like God particle. They said Brahman principle. What is the first principle? Say earth element, water, fire, air, ether, and then mind, intellect. You go subtler and subtler and subtler. You reach there. Subtler than the space is mind. Subtler than that is intellect. The knowledge is present there. And then subtler than that ego. 100 times subtler than ego is Mahat Tattva. The principle called Mahat. Field called Mahat. Ego itself is an atom. But finer than the ego, you go beyond the ego, that point. Particle is a field, that's called Mahattat. And finer than that is Mula Prakriti, the primordial energy. And then you go beyond that primordial energy, they say that is Brahman, of which everything is made, and which is the summum bonum of creation, which is the substance of the whole creation. And Brahman is infinity. It's neither born nor will ever die. In the Rig Veda, there is a sukta called Nasadiya Sukta, 10th mandala, 129th shloka, 129th adhyaya. There, but 7 verses are there. In the 7 verses of the hymn of creation, it is so striking that these aspects which we through quantum mechanics, quantum physics know are present then there. What scientists call as the dark matter and dark energy, which is everywhere. The dark matter and dark energy is what we are talking about. And Nasadiya Sukta says the same thing. You know, says Nasadasi, Nosadasi, Tadani, Nasi Drajo, no Vyoma Paroyat. Beyond the space. Then in the beginning there was neither existence nor non-existence. Neither birth nor death. It was energy. All is only energy. And it also says darkness enveloped by darkness. The 3rd verse says, darkness was there, all wrapped around by darkness. So these verses strikingly indicate what today's scientists talk almost in the same language. At first, neither being nor non-being. There was nor air nor yet sky beyond. What was it wrapping? Where, in what protection? Was water there, unfathomable and deep. There was no death then, nor yet deathlessness. Of night or day, there was not any sign. The one breath without breath, by its own impulse. Other than that was nothing else at all. Darkness was there, all wrapped around by darkness, and all was water indiscriminate. All was energy indiscriminate. Then that which was hidden by the void, the one emerging, stirring through power of ardor, came to be. In the beginning, love arose, which was the primal germ cell of the mind. The seers, searching in their heart with wisdom, discovered the connection of being in non-being. A crosswise line cut being from non-being. What was described above it? What below? Bearers of seed there were, and mighty forces. Trust them below and forward move above. Who really knows? Who can presume to tell it? When was it born? When issued this creation? Even the gods came after its emergence. Then who can tell from where it came to be? That out of which creation has arisen, whether it held it from firm or it did not, he who surveys it in the highest heaven, he surely knows, or maybe he doesn't know. That is very interesting. The last line, he knows or maybe he doesn't know. Because here even the knower is part of the phenomenon. The three types of space is described. One is the space we see in which all the matter exists, the outer space. And there is an intermediate space, inner space, where all thoughts and emotions float. This is called Chittakasha, the space of Chitta, consciousness. And then Chidakasha, the space of pure consciousness, energy, which here and there appears to have consolidated and appears to be matter. What appears to be matter is really no matter. It is all one energy, and that one field is called Brahman. That is what everybody is. That is what everything is. Doesn't it sound very familiar with the Higgs boson? Very similar. So the Brahman or God is not he or she. They say it is a field. It's a field, it's a space, basis of everything, and everything is just its own reflection. All forms of its own reflection. It is neither a thing or nor nothing. And they also said this will be known by the scientists of the past and the scientists of the future. Rishi means one who discovers, Rishibi Nuta Nairuta. Rishibi Purvevir Nuta Nairuta. Rishibi, the scientist of the ancient times and of the modern times, coming years. They'll explore this. Even those, they may not know it. Who knows whether they know it or not? So further they go and say it is unknowable. It's interesting. Higgs boson, the concept of it has been coming from the past. Actually, these verses, when people used to say darkness was enveloped with darkness, it wouldn't make much sense. And scholars of Sanskrit and Vedic scholars were struggling to give some meaning to it. It appeared to be completely meaningless. And because neither this nor that, it exists or doesn't exist. This sort of words is good enough to confuse a person. I think with Higgs boson's discovery, you are able to understand these verses better, because this itself is called the hymn of creation. And it is not very straight, like, oh, there was a man and a woman and then they got into love and they brought forth progeny and children. It was not like this. The hymn of creation here is so mystic and so mysterious. The mystic in it is that it is said, in the beginning there was neither being nor non-being, neither matter or non-matter, and everything was beyond the space. And first of all, space you should know, and then go beyond the space. Always they have said the truth, the Brahman is Parame Vyoman. You have to go beyond the space. And space is permeating the entire creation. And three types of space also they have said. The physical Bhutakasha, and then Chittakasha and Chidakasha. And the three types of space, and permeating them, going beyond them, dissecting them, and then finding. By the time you find that, whether you know it or not is a big question mark. A scientist will never conclude things as an ultimate thing, but they will always leave a room for further research. They keep the things open-ended. And so does the Veda. They leave it at that maybe somebody will discover, somebody knows, or somebody doesn't know. That is absolutely fascinating and interesting. See that. So we need to look at these Vedas not from a traditional point of view, but with a scientific temper, scientific mind. You need to probe into it. Perhaps you may get some more ideas from this, or may not be. Well, Om Shanti.